Okay, a very good morning to everyone. Good morning, dear students. Okay, please lower your hand. There is no need to raise your hands. 10 students, 12 students have raised their hand. Okay, please lower your hands because there is a confusion who having doubt because unnecessary when you raise your hand, I will think there you have a doubt and we have not started the class also. So after some times when we will learn, we will take doubts. We will ask questions. I will ask question to you and you will answer. Okay. Astha and Nilesh, you didn't lower your hand. Okay, very good. Nilesh Kumar, what happened? Nilesh, what happened to you? You want to ask something? Nilesh? Okay. So we are discussing about solid, liquid and gas, and we have also studied about the solution. And in solution, we have discussed two things, that is solute and solvent. Okay, now my question is from 5A Sadia Parveen. Okay, Sadia, can you, no, I will ask randomly. Don't raise hand. I will ask randomly. Okay, don't raise. Sadia, are you listening to me? Sadia, you're not responding. Okay. Okay, my question is from Anju Singh.
Good
Anju,
morning, sir.
okay, good morning. Tell me two examples of solid, two examples of liquid, and two examples of gas.
Sir, a solid cube and box or
Cube and box.
duster.
Okay, very good, very good. And what about liquids? Okay, don't tell about liquid. Okay, Anju, don't tell about liquid. Let me ask you another student. You have told about, you have answered about solid. Okay, Nilesh Singh, tell me two examples of liquid.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning, Nilesh. Okay.
Water, tea, and juice.
Okay, very good. Okay, Shraddha Singh.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Shraddha. Tell me two example of gas.
Sir, balloon.
Balloon. No, not balloon. Balloon is not example of gas. I have taken example that we have filling air in balloon. Okay, so the air is from example of gas, not balloon example of gas. Okay, Shraddha.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me two examples of gas.
Sir, hot air balloon.
No. Which type of gas from air we breathe? Which type of gas?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. And what we take out?
Carbon dioxide.
So here are there are two examples of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay. So I'm telling you many more examples. See, first example for gas is water vapor. Second example, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen. Okay, many more examples. Okay. Okay, Shraddha have answered. Okay, now my next question is from Anvaya Sharma. Did you can you hear me? Anvaya Sharma, 5D. Okay, not responding. Okay, can you hear me? Tell me fast.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me which have fixed volume but not have fixed shape.
The liquid.
Okay, liquid. Okay, my next question is from Anumesha Pandey 5C. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anumesha.
Can hear you.
Yes, sir. Okay, Anumesha, tell me which have fixed shape and fixed volume. Which state of matter have fixed shape and fixed volume? Okay. Okay, 5D Mukul Singh. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me which state of matter have fixed shape and fixed volume.
Sir, solid.
Solid. Okay, good. And which is rigid and hard, liquid or gas?
Sir, solid.
Okay, good. Very good. So I'm very happy you have learned everything since you have revised, go through the chapter and understand it very well because you are answering correctly. Okay. Most of the students can't answer due to the network problem or something else. Okay. So means uh, I hope that you have understand about solid, liquid, gas and their properties. You have tell me their examples also. Okay. So it is all about solid, liquid, and gas. So tell me one more question from the last question from solid, liquid, and gas, and that is a question from Palak Gupta 5C. Can you hear me, Palak?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Palak. Okay, Palak, tell me which state of matter don't have means have not fixed shape and not fixed volume. Which state of matter? Okay, gases. Okay, and tell me one thing more. Is gas have mass? It means is air have mass?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and in classroom in Zoom class, which example we have taken to prove that air has mass?
The up to balloon.
Ah, very good. Means you have attended well. Okay, so very good, all of you. You can lower your hand. All of you, you can lower your hand. Means I can't ask to the all because there are many students now. If you ask to all the students, so the time will be over. We can't study the next topic. Okay, now I'm discussing about the solution. So sorry, in solution there are two things. Okay, and what are the two things? Solute and solvent. Suppose there is a glass which is filled of water. Okay, this is filled with water. Okay, now we are mixing here sugar, means sugar crystals, and we take a spoon and stir it well. After 1 or 2 minutes, what happens? This will form like this. Means we can't see sugar particles clearly because it is completely dissolved in this water, and this is called sugar solution. This is sugar, and after some time, means when we stir with a spoon, and after some time, what is formed? Sugar solution. Sugar solution. Okay, and I have told you two terms about in solution. Now I'm going to ask you a question from anyone randomly. Um, no, don't raise hand because it might be confusing. I will ask randomly. Okay, there. Harshit Kaushal, tell me
Yes, sir.
what is sugar here and what is water here? What we term for sugar?
Yes, sir.
What we term for sugar? I have
Sir,
told.
sugar is solute.
Very good. Solute means this is solute, means this is going to dissolve in water. And what is water?
Solvent.
Solvent. Okay, good.
And sugar syrup is solution.
Okay, sugar syrup will be solution. Okay, fine. So it is the solution formed with the help of sugar and water. So sugar is solute, that is which we dissolve in water, in solvent, the solid particle, that is called solute, and the liquid in which the solute is being dissolved, that is called solvent. Okay, and I have to taken one more example. In summer days, we take a glucose. So the glucose is solute, and the water in which we are going to dissolve the glucose, that is solvent, and that is called, after we dissolve glucose in water, that the glucose solution is formed. Okay, and we have discussed one more thing, that soluble substance and insoluble substance. Soluble substance means the substance which is completely dissolved in solvent, that is sugar, that is salt, that is glucose. Means if we dissolve sugar in water, salt in water, glucose in water, what happened? They completely dissolve in liquid, means that is solvent. And if I ask a question to Anshika Gupta, can you hear me? Anshika Gupta, Anshika Gupta. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if I want to dissolve sand in water, what happens? If there is a water, glass filled with water, and I dissolve sand, is it will completely dissolve in water, the sand?
No.
No. See, when we take sand here, okay, and we stir with the spoon, what happens? The sand will rotate in the water with the spoon. But after some times, when you keep steady or still, what happens? The sand particles will settle down at the bottom of the glass. Means what we term for this sand? Is it soluble or insoluble? Tell me.
Insoluble
Okay.
substance.
Okay. Very good. So we have understood about the soluble substance and insoluble substance. Soluble substance is what? We dissolve in liquid and form solution. That is example glucose, salt, sugar. Means it dissolves completely in water and form a solution. And what about insoluble? That does not dissolve in water and does not form a solution. That is example of sand. If you crush this chalk in a powder form and mix in water, it will also not dissolve. So this chalk is also a insoluble substance. Okay, so the substance that do not dissolve in liquid are called insoluble substance. For example, chalk powder, soil, sand, and oil do not dissolve in water. Okay, now what happened when we mix a liquid, one liquid to another liquid? Suppose there are two liquids, that is milk and water. Okay, and we are mixing milk and water. So tell me, you will able to separate milk and water if I mix milk and water? Okay, can you able to say that water is mixed in milk? Because the milkmaid come to our houses, always add some water to the milk, okay, for their profit. So can you able to determine that if you are not if there is a bottle, okay, and milk is in their bottle and also water is added. So if you see the bottle from outside, can you say that water is added in milk or not? So my question is from Umang Gupta. Can you hear me? 5A. Umang Gupta.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, is water completely dissolved in milk or added in milk?
Yes, sir. It is dissolved.
Okay. So we can say water is completely mixed with the milk.
Milk.
Okay. So the liquid which is completely mixed with another liquid is called miscible liquid. See. Miscible liquids. And what is the example of miscible liquid? When we add milk, when we add water in milk, milk plus water. Okay. Now another type of liquid is immiscible liquids. And what will be the definition of immiscible liquid? Those liquid which do not mix with the another liquid. Okay, so liquid do not mix with each other. That is called immiscible liquid. And what is the example for immiscible liquid? I have told you in the last class. Okay, Kishan Kumar Gupta, tell me what will be the example for immiscible liquid?
Hello, sir. Good morning,
Yes.
sir.
Good morning, Kishan. Tell me example of immiscible liquid.
Sir, oil and water.
Okay, oil and water. Okay, and my next question is from Sambhavi Pandey. Can you hear me, Sambhavi?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Somebody tell me, if we mix water and oil, which will be upside? Means water will be upside, yeah, oil will be float on the surface of water. Which will float
So
upward?
oil will float on the surface of water.
Okay, very good. That's fine. So see here, when we add uh, oil in water, what happened? They will not mix each with each other. What happens? Suppose there is a water here and we put a oil in it, in this, so the oil will float on the surface of water. So you can easily say that oil is mixed in water. They will form a layer. Okay, here oil will be upside and water will be lower side. Why it is happened, you will study in higher classes, means next classes, next to next classes, that there is a density phenomena. So you will learn in higher classes, but for now you just remember oil will be float on the surface of this water. Okay, now separation of liquids from solids. Okay, now if solid is mixed with liquid, how we will separate it, means how we will separate from each other. It's solid here, liquid here. Okay, so let's learn here. Okay, so we use different methods to separate soluble and insoluble solutes from the solvent, using different methods. Separation of insoluble substance. So, Anumesha Pandey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good
Tell
morning,
me,
sir.
good morning. Tell me, what is insoluble substance?
The substance that do not dissolve in water are called insoluble substance.
Okay, what
Example,
example? That one.
sand,
Sand.
etc.
Okay. Is chalk? Chalk is insoluble or soluble?
They are insoluble.
And what about salt?
Salt is soluble.
Okay, good. So see here, students. Now the first thing we have to separate insoluble substance. Insoluble substance means which does not dissolve completely in liquid. So suppose here is a solution of insoluble solute, that is sand, or we can say soil or chalk powder. Here it is, because it does not completely mix with each other. It settles down at the bottom of the container. So how will we separate it? So insoluble solids can be separate from these liquids by the process of sedimentation. And what is sedimentation? Sedimentation is the process of settling down of insoluble solid at the bottom of the container. Means when you leave this sand plus water solution for some time, what happens? These things will settle down at the bottom of the container. So you can easily pour the water in another container and the remaining things will be at the bottom. So you can separate water and sand in different containers. So when the solution is left undisturbed, means you do nothing with this, just put the solution just like here for some time. What happens? I have told you many times, it will settle down at the bottom. Okay, and the solid settles at the bottom is called sediment, and this is called sediment, which is settle down. Sediment. Okay, and sedimentation involves following steps. Impure water containing insoluble solution is collected in a container. Okay, see, I am telling you the whole process once again. First, what happened? We mix some insoluble solute. Insoluble solute means it does not completely dissolve in liquid. Suppose I am mixing sand. Suppose I am taking sand and I mix sand with water and stir it with a spoon, and I left for some time. If I left this solution after some times, what happens? Mukul Singh will tell. If I mix sand and water and mix with stir with a spoon and leave it with for 2 minutes, what happened? Yes, Mukund Singh.
So sand is settled down.
Settle down at the bottom of the container. Okay, good. Okay, after settling down, what we will do to separate it? We will transfer the liquid on the top surface. Means here the surface from the top surface into the another container without disturbing the sediment. Means suppose there is a filled with water and we will transfer like this. Okay, and it will be in the bottom. So if you transfer all the liquids, we will able to separate the sediments in another container and water in the another container. So that is the sedimentation method. Sedimentation and descentation. This method is called sedimentation and descentation. Okay. Now another rest. Please lower your hand, all of you. Don't. There is no need to raise the hands. Okay. Now next method is filtration. Filtration, you can understand by the term also, filter means you have to filter it. So filtration is the process of removing insoluble solids. Means insoluble solid, that is like sand or chalk powder, which does not dissolve in the liquid, by passing the solution through a filter like thin cloth, strainer, sieve, or filter paper. The insoluble substance are written on the filter paper, strainer, or thin cloth as residue, while clear water passes through it and gets collected in the empty container kept below. Okay, you all have seen when our mummy cook tea, and after cooking tea, when we transfer the tea from pan, means the cooking pan, to the cup, what we do, what we use. Okay, the answer will be told by it will be answered by Sadia Parveen. Okay, Sadia Parveen, can you listen me? Sadia Parveen. Okay, she is not responding. Okay, my next question. Okay, Anume.
Good morning, sir.
Who's answering?
Anumeya Pandey.
Anumesha. Okay, so when we cook tea in a frying, means in a pan, cooking pan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and after cooking tea, means when the when tea is ready, when we transfer this tea to a cup or any glass or any other things, what we use?
Yes, sir.
What we use if we uh, taking this tea to any cup, what we use?
So we will filter the tea first.
Very good. We will filter the tea, means tea leaves. Okay, and that is called filter. Means in Hindi we call it channi. Okay, so to separate this insoluble solute from the solution, we use filter paper, and this filter paper is like any thin cloth here, and thin cloth or sieve or any filter paper. So what we do, see here. First, I'm happy you are answering all the questions. Okay, here it is a liquid, and in the bottom what is collected? Insoluble solute. Here, now what we will do, we will take another container. Okay, here, and above it we will put a filter paper. Okay, we will put a filter paper. This is called filter paper. Filter paper. What we'll do, we will pour this solution in the filter paper. What happens? This will goes here, and all the water will pass through this filter paper, and this solute, insoluble solute, will be here, just like tea leaves. When we are transferring the tea from the cooking pan to the cup, we use that filter. Okay, and the tea leaves get stuck in the filter paper. That's filter. So here there will be solute. Which solute? Insoluble solute. Insoluble solute. So that is the method called filtration. We use to separate the insoluble solute from the solvent, that is liquid. Okay, so it gets collected in the filter paper, and this is called residue. What is this called? Residue. Okay, now separation of soluble solids. So we have only 3 more minutes, so we will study the next things in our next class. Okay, and before it, I'm going to ask you a question of the things we have learned today. Okay, my question is from this Sadia Parveen is not responding because I have asked her. Kishan Kumar Gupta, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me, What is soluble solute?
Sir, those substances that dissolve in water is called soluble substance.
Okay, you can't say only water. You say you can say those substances which can completely dissolve in liquid. Okay, because we will not take water. Suppose we drink milk, we used to add Bonvita, Horlicks, and sugar also.
Yes.
So we will not say only water. We can say
Yes.
liquid.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sir. Yes.
Okay. Good. So my next question is from Arthav Singh 5E. Can you hear me, Arthav? Arthav.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Arthav. Okay. Arthav, tell me what is this thing called when they settle down in a container at the bottom? What is this called? This solute.
Hello, sir. Sir?
What is this insoluble solute called when it settles down at the bottom of the container?
Sir, your voice is not coming.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm asking to another one. Astha Sharma, can you hear me properly?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, Astha. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm asking if I am taking a insoluble solute and solvent, that is liquid, and this solute settles down at the bottom of the container. So what is this called? What we term it?
Sir, soluble.
No, not solvent. Okay, my next question is from Sambhavi Pandey. Can you tell me, Sambhavi? Sambhavi. Okay, not responding. Shraddha Singh, can you tell me?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Shraddha. Okay, what we say? This insoluble solute which settles down.
Sir,
Okay,
my
I'm giving you a hint. It starts with S.
sir, soluble.
No, it is called sediment. We have learned in the methods sedimentation and decentation that the solute which settles down at the bottom of the container called sediments. Okay, Shraddha? Is it okay, Shraddha?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is the this thing called which is collected on the filter paper? What we call it? The
Sir,
the solute which is collected on the filter paper. What we call it?
I know.
Okay, this is called residue. Okay, so the things you have to revise it. Okay, revise it properly. Okay, I hope everybody has understand what we have learned today about the solution, solvent, immiscible liquid, miscible liquids, and what we have learned today that separation of liquids from solids, from that is from insoluble substance, sedimentation and decentation. Sedimentation, the liquid settle down and we just transfer the water into another container. Okay, filter by filtration, we take a filter paper like cotton cloth or something else, and we transfer the water, the things collected on the filter paper. So these two methods we have learned. And in next class, we will learn separation of soluble solid. Okay, for now, thank you so much. We will meet you next class. Okay, bye bye everyone.